What's going on, people? Critics, happy Wednesday. It's Kris the Critic show. I'm Kris, my super duper co-host with the most, Gina B. Say hello to everybody.
Hello, beautiful people.
People, thank you for welcoming us, coming in and checking us out on Wednesday.
It's a new day for us.
It's a new day for us. It's a little earlier in the day.
It's hump day.
Hump day. That's okay, though. We don't mind hump day. We're here to try to help get you through the week. Appears we got some technical stuff going on.
It's okay. It's okay.
We're just gonna keep going.
No problem. We're just gonna get. This is our.
Gina.
Very.
There might be some new people checking us out.
I'm into it.
Since it's a Wednesday.
Right.
Maybe for people who don't know you.
Okay.
Other than your criminal record, tell them a little bit about your past.
Well, if you haven't seen me on America's Most Wanted, I am a former Red Eye columnist.
Woo!
1/6 of 6 brown chicks.
There we go.
And just general chronologic. What do I call myself? I call myself a chronicler of human behavior.
Chronicler, yeah, I like it.
Yes. Okay. Tell us about yourself.
So, thank
Kris
you, Herb.
The Critic.
Herb is our producer, board operator, all around run shit guy.
He runs shit up in here.
Kris Critic.
We already had our apple juice, by the way, Tiger Lily. Oh, no, that was Boosie. Someone asked us about our apple juice. I started doing this, writing a blog called Kris the Critic, Critic of Random. Noticed that the relationship blogs that I wrote, people liked them. They talked about them. They wanted more info. I'm also a retired player, ex-Jedi Knight level. That's right.
Black belt level. Retired out the game player, happily retired. So, after a bunch of failed relationships, you learn a thing or two.
Yes, you do. You should.
So,
if you don't, you're doing something wrong.
So thank you for joining us on Wednesday. Hopefully some of you all that we saw on Friday are here with us now. Don't worry. We still sipping, but the boss is in the building. So as soon as he gone, it's on and popping. So, today,
yes,
ladies, this show is for you. If your boo is anywhere near, I know he don't want to see some dude on the screen, drag him. Today's show, why men should get married. Again, today's show,
there are a lot of reasons
why men should get married. I am a proponent of the institution.
I hope so.
There are no right or wrong answers in this show. All right? We will have a guest later.
Special guest.
Special guest. Looking forward to it. Won't tell you if he's for or not for. But again, the purpose of this show is to understand, learn something, and even be entertained for a little bit. Right?
Absolutely.
So,
a lot.
Fellas, relax. Don't worry. I'm not about to throw you all under the bus. And it's okay to think about jumping out the window. Sounded bad saying that. But if you land somewhere nice.
That's really the key.
It's okay.
That's the key.
I'm telling you.
Land somewhere nice.
So, I always come prepared.
Kris got a list.
I work hard for y'all. Kris got a list.
All right, so here's the thing. If you have not watched us on Fridays, Kris always got a list. Like he is a well-documented, he comes with facts. And so I'm going to let him go ahead.
Well, one of the reasons I do, Gina B has Mensa level intelligence. For those who don't know, I met Gina B. Didn't know her. At a party, doing my Kris the Critic thing. I'm throwing relationship advice around under shots, saying something. All of a sudden, somebody says something profound. And I was like, well, damn. If you can't beat them, you join them. So that's what I did. So I come prepared because Gina B can go off the cuff like this. And I can say, here, talk about sex. And I toss it to her. She catches, start juggling. Here, talk about money. And she catches it, start juggling. So I come prepared because I don't want to look like slouch. And as I always say, men, no disrespect us. We're very simple creatures. I like to keep it simple. So, Gina B, you are engaged.
I am.
So I'm guessing you are pro.
Well, you know, here's what's interesting. So I have been with my now fiance for 11 years. And 11?
You're lucky you're engaged now. Kris the Critic would have some advice.
No, we had reasons and, we had circumstances. But you know what? Over the course of time, I was like, okay, well, you know what? Our relationship is good. Neither of us is going anywhere. And if we hadn't gotten married, or if we were still not, but if we had not decided to get married, I would still be good with the relationship. Now, he is the one who surprised me with the proposal.
Did he, after 11 years, look at you one day and said, I think I can trust your ass?
Probably. Oh, wait. See, he's commenting. He's like, going on 12. Yes, honey. We are going on 12 years, but you proposed before our 11th anniversary.
Gina B, you're very lucky. I've met Gina B's fiance.
Yes, he's actually a friend of Brian Foster, who comes up next. We
do have In the Zone after this. For those out there, y'all got a treat. I'm kicking this off Wednesday, but we got In the Zone after this. And then we have Week Hell Wednesdays. Heaux. Week Hell Wednesdays. So please, if you enjoy this, make sure you stick around.
It gets more and more ratchet from here. So just start with us and keep it going. So anyway.
So I want to kick it off.
Yeah.
Now, fellas, and I'm inviting you all, male or female, to disagree. This marriage thing, I have some single guy friends. A lot of them got it wrong. They want to remain players. I get it. I was a player a long time. But men, it would behoove you. It's also almost better for you to get married. The first of my 3 reasons, Gina B, if you want to spout off any. Sure. Married men enjoy better health. So
I would say that's true.
If that means anything to anybody, and think about it. Think about the single guys, what do they eat for dinner?
Anything they find in their refrigerator
Hot Pockets.
Does not have mold on it.
Hot Pockets.
Let me tell you something. When I met my fiance,
Gyros or gyro.
He was subsisting on pots of beans. I don't know what he was eating. I'm like, what are you eating?
Man, I'm telling you, they know the name of every type of gyro. That's how they say it in the hood. There is. That's what they eat.
Yeah.
I know dudes who go to the gym and leave, get a Polish and fry on the way home. You eat horrible. You drink Hennessy for breakfast. Your breath always smells like Hennessy and Doritos. Blood pressure high.
There's not one nutrient in the body.
Now, I always try to bring y'all some real facts. This is, just trust me, it's factual. Single men have a 40%, I'm sorry, that was in 2019, that's 2021, 46 higher percent chance of dying from heart disease than your married counterparts. So for nothing else, you can live long.
Well, there's a couple reasons for that. First, men that are married, they have their women who are keeping track of their health schedules, right?
They do.
So do you have you had a checkup? Also, when you're by yourself and you have a heart attack, you have no one there to help you out. Like, you have no one to take you to the hospital. You have no one,
True.
You know what I mean? So you're by yourself, and that doesn't usually go so well. If you have a partner who is astute, now, okay, don't have a dumb partner. Let me start with that. Like,
somebody's got to be smarter. My wife is smarter than me.
As a partner,
my wife is smarter than me. I looked up. That's okay.
That's what you should have.
You're supposed to. Man, date somebody smarter than you.
That bitch does not recognize the signs of a stroke.
True that.
You will die.
You need
and
somebody,
she'll be okay because
you need somebody
she'll
with
have
some
your
aspirin in their purse ready to give to you.
Listen, don't sleep on that. That is real.
I'm telling you.
Not kidding.
He wouldn't know that. You gotta have somebody smart. Also, if you are with a smart woman, they see changes in you. We're not trying to go to the doctor. Married men will tell you. Your wife will tell you when you're looking funny, when your teeth look messed up,
I do.
When you're getting fat. Married men, it's a stat. I looked it up. Married men get cancer diagnosis sooner than single men.
Because we make you go to the doctor.
Because they looking like, you looking funny.
Like, what's all that?
Your boy's only going to tell you, man, he always high. He always look like that. You get high more.
As long as you're getting high with them, they don't care. Like, the women are like, yo.
Are you kidding? My house, I'm like this. No, that's the mouthwash. That's what you smell. It's the mouthwash. The alcohol in the mouthwash. But I'm telling you, so also, for those of us, and no disrespect to any other women, but those of us who married more educated women, if you marry someone with a graduate degree or a doctorate, you also enjoy a lower death rate than men married to less educated women. So the smarter woman you marry, you live longer.
We're back to don't marry the dumb chick.
If there's nothing else, don't marry the dumb chick.
I mean, even if you don't take anything else away from this, I'm letting you know.
Let's make it clear. I'm a guy's guy. I get it. You sing, you're like, man, there's so many women out here singing. There's a lot of booties out here, Kris. I'm juggling these booties, Kris. It's just booties. I get it. Hit as many as you can. But eventually, chocolate cake is chocolate cake.
Eventually, yeah. Chocolate cake is
Some's better,
cake.
some's worse.
You know, some shit, you know, it's just.
That booty gonna keep you alive? If it is, let me know. Anyway, that's the first one.
Okay, what's your next?
Second one. This is big, fellas. If you don't care about your health, I hope you care about your money. There are financial benefits to being married.
To the right person.
Think of all the men you know. Most of the broke ones, not all, there are exceptions to every rule.
There are.
Most of the broke ones are single. Because even if you have a great job, you're like, man, I can take care of myself. Well, A, we know you're eating wrong. We talked about that. But B, you got to take all those different big booties out. They want to eat. That's how they keep the booty up. They eat. And somebody got to pay for it because they ain't stupid. They know that big booty holds value out here in the open market.
One of my boys, I'll never forget this.
What?
I have two stories for you. One of my boys, we used to just hang out, like clubs and stuff. And so we used to have little nicknames for all of the women that he would juggle at the time. And I was his wing woman. It was fun. But there was one in particular who, she had a big booty, but she was always hungry. Like,
we don't care about that.
And she wasn't just hungry, she was hungry.
The single in us doesn't care about that. We're feeding that butt.
And so our nickname for her was the Hungry Hizzo.
Right, and nothing wrong with that.
She was going to eat through his wallet.
There's time in every man's life where that's an important part of your life.
He was like, damn.
You should exhaust that.
How much is she going to eat? Like, it was just kind of crazy. But also, I will tell you, okay, so when I was in consulting, my first job out of school.
Right.
I worked for a consulting firm. And a lot of my colleagues, white boys, were getting married really young, like 22.
Smart guys. They're trying to bank up. They're trying to bank up.
Right. Well, so I was like, you guys, you're so young. What do you mean you're getting married? Like, to me, I'm like swinging from the rafters. I'm like, that's, you know, I was like, explain. And so one of them, like, let me break this down for you. Okay. He's like, what you do is you get your home base covered early because dating is time consuming. You find a good person to marry. Like, you just don't find some like crazy, but you find a good person to marry. You marry her, you build a life with her, you have your kids. She's covering your home base. And then all you need to worry about at that point is being successful.
Right.
That man now makes over $2 million a year.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
That there is some truth to that.
Yep.
But there are a lot of reasons to that. And I won't get into that. I'm going to delve into it briefly. In our community, we come from a people of have-nots, right? Mm-hmm. So when I'm a little boy sitting in the barbershop, when you shop talking, everybody's basically saying, hey, man, don't get caught up with no girl. You get you a good job, man. Get your education. And meanwhile, girls are in the beauty shop. They're the same thing. You don't need a man. You get your money right. Pay your bills, education. Now, half of that's right. Where the other side is saying, listen, they telling their kids, you find somebody good, get married. I'm about to get my daughters married as young as possible. If anybody hit 30, I'm calling them an old maid. Now, that's what it is.
Well, that happens unless you're in the nail salon.
I want them all to get their heart broken in 6th grade so they find out what men are like and know how to deal with them.
Okay, so you go to the black beauty salon, right? And the women are like, girl, you got to get your money. If you go to the Vietnamese nail salon.
They tell you to get a man with some money.
They are like, I mean, seriously, before I was dating anybody, I would come in there every 2 weeks. And they would say, oh, Gina, where's your boyfriend? You know your boyfriend? And it was tragic to them. And then they would start trying to fix me up with people. They were looking at you like, wow, she seems so nice. You? Like,
you need to go back to wherever that is and tell them that you're not some sort of just
you're 26 years old, we're a boyfriend. I'm like, what do you mean we're a boyfriend?
Unlike our community, there's been so internet traumatized. I need a video looking chick who look like Beyonce. She got money. And women are like, I need Idris Elba, boys, Coach Joe Rogan. Make $100,000. His dick better be down his knees. And I'm not going to settle. All right, that's what we do. And they look for comfort. I live in a community with some fairly nice houses, right? I got the small one. Some big ones around it. All right, I'm there. I'm in the building. But, I mean, I know the guys. These decent-looking guys. But they regular guys just like me, right?
Right.
Some of these dudes got some dimes for wives. And I get it. Somebody told those women, hey, you better think about what type of lifestyle you want to lead. And I've asked this 2 shows ago. I looked right in that camera, and I asked some women, what can those good looks do to you? Because Bobby Jean, my mama's name is Bobby Jean. Bobby Jean always says, everybody get old and ugly. And don't call my mama no liar.
Happy belated birthday to her, by the way.
It was happy. I hope she's not watching, but mama don't even know I curse. If y'all tell my mama I use the curse word, it's a problem. But anyway,
bet she does know.
Seriously, you think about that. So men, listen, especially in our community, sisters killing the game. Don't shout out to my sisters. Per capita, the most educated of all groups of people walking the earth. Fellas, I know they all ain't got big booties, but see, I did that, went back to that. That's what a good comment.
These days you can buy them, though.
They never look the same. They always put too much up here.
Crazy.
They always too much.
Look, don't listen to men talking about
waist-cheek ratio don't
seriously,
match.
it's wrong. I saw one the other day. I'm
sure it's a good doctor out there somewhere. I just haven't seen them.
I wouldn't. Anyway.
So I like pointing them out. Actually, me and my wife pointed them out. We're like, see that? Look at that.
That's a fake booty.
So
back to the point, though. Your point is that men should get married.
Listen, there's no child support that you're not paying. We didn't even talk about that. And if you got married, you stay married. No alimony. You got 2 kids because you know a lot of guys without kids. We all having them, right? You don't want to pay that child support. Might as well. You should love her. You should love her. But I'm saying that's a real expense. Married men spend more money dating.
Yes.
And think about this.
Wait, married men spend more money dating?
Well, you know what I'm saying. On dates.
Married men.
Yeah, because married people also have.
Should married people be dating?
Well, I'm just saying they go out on dates. We go out on dates.
Oh, with each other.
Correct.
Okay, that's better.
But you're dating 3 women.
Oh, I see.
All trying to gain time.
I'm just trying to clarify.
Now, fellas, I'm not. If you're right there, I don't want to run your girl off. But actually, married women, stats show, married women actually put in 32 more hours a week of domestic work.
You ain't never lied.
If you add that up, let's say the national average of $26 an hour.
See, we need to have a show on why women shouldn't get married.
I'm not going to even talk about that side of the coin.
I'm just saying.
We ain't even talking about that today. That's not today's topic.
Next Wednesday. Anyway.
It behooves you, fellas, to take these financial opportunities. I'm not even talking about the tax benefits. Now, it is what it is.
How about you have a person in your life who you love, who's your best friend?
Let's talk
about that.
I prefaced everything by saying that.
Okay, I'm just
play
saying.
The tape. I'm a big play the tape guy. Counselor, play the tape. Number 3. Final one. Number 1, Rag.
Prenup. Okay, so Catherine. Okay.
So go ahead. We got a quick question.
We got
Catherine Bomer, one of my favorite people.
Catherine Bomer.
You were in the building.
One of our favorite viewers.
And
we
canceled
okay,
the chief.
so let me just start. Let me just not start. Let me just say, prenup. Everyone now, Kris believes everyone should be married.
I've never said anything about a prenup. It depends what situation you're in. If you got less, no prenup. If you got more prenup, it's all. That's it. That's my view.
Every single person should have a prenup. I do not care. No boo. Why?
Boo.
Why is that a boo?
Because here's why. Here, I'm telling you why.
Please share with me.
My producer, I don't think Herb's married. Herb, you need to hear this. Brian, I'm sure knows.
Brian's in the building.
In the zone. Brian Foster's in the building.
The crowd goes wild.
Herb, I don't know if you know this. Gina B just said everybody should have a prenup.
Yep.
Nix that. I just told all the brothers out there, the women making a lot of money these days. If she's not now, she will. And here's why, Gina B. It's not one-sided. Black men die before black women. You get the life insurance.
Okay.
Hey, Gina B, I'm going to tell you this.
Christ.
My wife make a lot more money than me. Okay. Now I ain't signing no goddamn prenup.
See that? Brian Foster was the smartest guy.
Well, how long have you been married, though, Brian?
Forever.
11 years.
And you've been married for 11 years, and so was your wife making that much money when you got married?
I knew she would when I married her.
So you were planning.
She was fresh out of
go to med school, right?
Fresh out of residency.
Okay, because I know your wife is
Gina B, what type of car do you drive?
His wife is accomplished.
What type of car do you drive, Gina B?
I don't want to tell you.
I didn't think so. Begins with a T, ends in an A.
Shut up.
All right.
That could be a Toyota.
It's not a Toyota. I'm right there with you. She's real quick. She's real quick. But seriously, you all get the life insurance, all right?
Right.
I walk out of here. I get hit by a truck. Their biggest problem is they splitting up by $500,000. She could have increased it. She knows my Social Security number.
Okay, so here's
all the women know.
Let me explain the reason.
Wait a minute, Brian Foster. Your wife know your Social Security number, Brian? Your wife knows your Social Security number?
Of course she does.
Of course she does. See what I'm saying? I walk in the house, my wife on the phone. I'm like, who you talking to? Oh, I'm doing some bill stuff. She could have been raising the life insurance amount. Okay. I don't know.
Okay, so
y'all get that money.
Here is the
y'all
reason.
Get the life insurance.
Here is the reason why I believe everyone should have a prenup. Because I feel that it takes all the money off the table. Like, you don't stand to gain anything additional by being with me except for being
honestly, I'm not against that.
It takes all the money off the table. Now, does that mean that you don't share the money when you're together? Of course you share the money when you're together. But that just means that like everyone needs to have the honest intentions.
I'm okay with that.
That's the reason. It's not because he ain't going to get.
We went through.
You put them on your life insurance. That's not a problem.
We went through.
We just have
I don't know if you guys are going to do it. I'm Catholic, so my wife can't leave unless somebody dies. All right? She kills me,
Plenty
I kill
of Catholic people have
or somebody dies. We're not leaving. It is what it is.
Okay.
She lucked up, though. Who wants to leave this? You know? It is what it is. But that's okay. Mm-hmm. But prior to marriage, you should do a little financial. We went through a whole financial thing.
You should have financial. Right. I believe that you should have.
So at least you go in there with open eyes. You know what I'm saying?
You should know what's up. Like if you should really always know what kind of debt someone's in.
Right.
You always should know that because the thing is, when you're married, irrespective of your prenup, marriage is a legal contract, and you need to know what you were signing up for. You were signing up to take on the responsibilities of that person's life.
Fellas, you marry somebody smart. I want you to make sure they're not like, you know. I'm just joking. It was a dig at you.
I was just waiting.
I got one more point.
But that's the whole point anyway.
We got a guest coming in. On. So we got 3 minutes.
Is he here yet?
I was supposed to press something. He
would pop up if you were.
I think he's here. Let me.
Oh, wait, don't press it.
Oh, wait a minute.
No.
Herman needs some help. Real quick, the last point, what's most advantageous for married men, and I know my single brothers are going to say I'm lying. You have more sex. You do 20%.
With your wife, right?
Ideally. Can't speak for all these brothers.
Okay, let's say we're all doing it the right way.
20% of single men have sex 2 to 3 times a week. I don't care what they're talking about. Now, it might be a new, bigger booty.
It depends on whether they're desirable.
But they don't know it. She don't love him. Now, 36% of married men have sex 2 to 3 times a week. Same amount. Now, I will also say, in that same study, in all groups, male, female, married, unmarried, they had better sex, or sex got better with someone that they had a better communication with. So,
yeah, that makes sense.
That debunks the myth. Your single friends are out there lying.
Give me some strange. Yeah, they're seriously
beating
lying.
off to a porno that you've watched more than once does not count.
All right. Okay. Louis Green is saying, for the first year, I know Louis too. Okay, Louis, I see you. Listen, for the first year after that, it's all downhill, bro. Louis, you're not married? What are you talking about?
Hold on, Louis, bro. I don't even.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Louis married now?
He's not married.
Oh, he's not married.
Not since the last time we had a conversation, he was not married.
Louis, did you get married in the interim and divorced really quick?
Which was in the last 6 months.
But also, there's no unwanted pregnancy. You slip up, hey, I'm married. We can have it, choose not to. You don't get any STDs. Well, if you do, it's a problem.
If you get some STDs,
that's an issue.
Then someone is not married in your relationship.
Let's say they get less STD.
Someone's a little differently married than you. Is all
we all agree on that, right?
We do. We agree.
Now, you are manning the question board.
I am.
Prior to we're going to take a short intermission in about a minute.
Okay.
What are we going to talk about when we get back?
We got a guest coming back. The guest is someone who was a columnist at the same time as I was at Ed Red Eye.
Okay.
And his stance is a little different than yours.
Really?
Yep.
But I am the critic.
Dustin's coming up. All-knowing. Dustin's coming up.
I'm all-knowing.
Okay. Well, let's just see.
And if you have any questions, you want to comment, we're going to read those at the halftime. We'll be back in about 2 minutes.
Yep.
To the Kris the Critic Show with super co-host Gina B. Be back in a minute. Don't go nowhere. What's going on, people? Welcome back to the Kris the Critic Show featuring Gina B. The topic for tonight, why men should get married. Now, if you are just joining us, ladies, this is a show. If you're trying to pull them across the altar, trying to get them to jump over the broom, you need to bring them up to the computer screen.
Yeah.
And fellas, as I told all my other male brethren, I'm not going to just throw you under the bus. All right? No. This is a good thing we're talking about. We have a guest coming on. We had some technical difficulties. Our producer, you'll see him here. Herb, come on, man.
We're trying to figure it out. The guest had some sort of connection quality issues.
I want you to call him while we're on air.
I did call him.
Call him again. I'm going to talk to the people. Give him a quick recap.
Okay.
Call him.
A quick recap.
Here's why.
Okay.
I gave you some solid advice, right? Kris the Critic said men should get married. I listed off the top 3 reasons that you should. They were, one was financial, one was better sex, and one was better health, all right? All equally important. We have a gentleman, knows Gina B. Anybody who knows Gina B, she's a very smart woman. She says this guy's pretty much against it. And, I want to hear it. There's no right or wrong answers on this show. But it should be a little bit entertaining because obviously there's some stories behind that if there really is. So we're trying to get Dustin on the phone. I'm going to look at a few comments, see who's watching the show.
Look at some comments. But in the meantime, I can tell you why a lot of men resist marriage.
And you've spoken. This is your guess.
Yes, my guess.
Tell me, give us some background when he gets on so we can get right into it.
Okay, well, or I can resist marriage. So I've polled a lot of men over time about their marriage habits, and a lot of them resist marriage. And now I've got a list. Isn't that awesome? A lot of men think that more marriage equals more responsibility, meaning now you are a provider, right? And sometimes being a provider is stressful. Like, is the whole family resting on me? Can I do it? It's very scary for a lot of guys. A lot of guys are afraid of the concept of monogamy. Some people think this is the last ass I'm going to have for the rest of my life if I do this correctly.
For those guys, I want to hear the list. This is a good list, but I want to just let those guys know. I get it. I've been there, but you don't want to be that old dude in the club.
No, we know those
guys.
Because
your good looks and they're going to spend what little money. You think you got a lot of money. You don't got a lot of money for them. You don't.
Those broad shoulders, they fall to your belly.
Listen,
it's not
man.
Cute. It's not.
You're ahead of the game now. I feel you. It's going to end.
It will be. It will not end well.
You're going to get fatter. You're going to get less hair. You're not going. The pills can only do so much.
Yeah. Well, okay. So Troy Williams brings up a good point.
Let's hear Troy. I've been knowing Troy since third grade.
I know. Troy's the nicest guy in the world.
Allegedly.
Yeah, he is a really nice guy.
Well, whatever.
He says he's not against marriage, but why do so many guys who have been married swear to never be married again? Because you made the wrong choice.
Wait a minute.
In the first marriage.
You answer that first, and I'd like to answer. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, my point is that, if you make a bad choice in a marriage, then you're not going to like it, right? Like, so you probably like the construct of marriage and what it does for you, but you just don't like the person that you chose to perform those duties, right?
True.
So that is different. So don't lump marriage together with your bad decision. That's my point. Anyway, what were you going to say?
I was just going to straight call bullshit on Troy.
Okay.
I just happen to know Troy Williams' closest friends, right? We got a fairly tight crew. Troy, imagine those guys right now. Some of them got divorced. Every one of them has gotten remarried. One's gotten remarried twice. So I don't think he knows anybody close up who's gotten divorced said, I'm just not getting married again. I'm calling bullshit on Troy Williams.
Yeah, because people who are recently divorced talk a lot of shit. Because they're just like, I ain't never doing that again.
They mad.
But then 5 minutes later, she's fine. And
because at one point,
she cooks and she,
man, look,
don't be married.
Are we good? We got Dustin?
No, you know what? We're just going to proceed.
What's going on with Dustin?
He's got some technical difficulties.
Send me Dustin.
But you know what? I call Dustin. We can
I want Dustin in.
I know you do, but like if you can't
pumped him up.
Listen, I gave him the link, and he's.
I looked him up. Seemed like a well-read brother.
He is. He's a well-read brother.
Seemed like
I wish
he
you
looked
were
good
here.
on camera.
But if he can't get in,
y'all out.
Then we're still
call him right now.
I called him.
Call him with the people looking. We'll wait.
Lord, today.
Call him.
Okay, I will call him. But I have more of a list.
All right, well, we'll listen while you call him.
Okay. Let me just start with this. Some men believe that loss of freedom is the reason why they won't get married. Loss of freedom, meaning they can't do stuff with their loss of friends is another one.
I'm going to speak for most men right now. I get that. But men, I know men. We pretty simple. We eat, we watch sports, we want to be fed, we want some sex. What freedom are you losing to do what? Okay, your social clubs? Your environmental concerns? What are y'all doing? What freedom are they losing? I don't think they need much freedom.
All right, what are you doing?
Dustin is trying to get back on, people.
To get on right now. Okay, try to get back on because we only have 15 minutes left.
Dustin, we got 17 minutes. By the way, In the Zone is next. Brian Foster. I think the show. I peeked ahead. Brian Foster went to my alma mater. Does a show called In the Zone. He literally, if you know him on Facebook, he has like 5 different shows he does a week. He basically got everybody through the pandemic.
Brian is a content machine.
He basically got everyone through the pandemic.
Yeah, he really did.
Is it this show? Not even close. But it's pretty good.
Okay.
After that, we go Wednesdays with my man DJ.
So Troy says again, he has friends now who swear to never marry again and are dying to get out of their marriage. Okay, Troy. I think I solved that question for you. These are people who are married to the wrong people. Okay.
Thank you.
So
Troy.
Some people fear loss of personal space. And okay, I mean, so you get a man cave.
You do. I have a very small area that I call mine. I mean, granted, you lose some space. That's a good valid point. We got a lot of closets.
But it's better decorated space.
I got a half a closet.
But it's better decorated than it would be if you were living by yourself.
Mrs. Levy has 4 times the amount of closet space that I have.
Well, she needs that.
I'm just saying the fellas actually have a valid point.
Okay, you lose personal space.
And you go to your boy's house. I had somebody tell me, real
and he's
talk,
on his beanbag
real
watching
talk,
his TV.
If you're considering getting married,
you
go in, listen to this. Hockey championship is coming up. I don't care if you don't watch hockey. You do now. Anytime it's on, hey, baby, I got to go watch the hockey game. Do that for every sport. Then there's your time. Come hang with me. I'll be saying the same thing.
Okay. Or, you know what? Man cave is fine. You know, a lot of women don't mind men having man caves because they have, they can leave them alone. Like, just go someplace and, do all of that man stuff that you do.
Keep talking. I'm checking with her.
Put up your Heineken neon sign or whatever. My fiance has some, I was like, that is not going up in the house. He has some weird, neon bar signs. It's like, oh, this will look good. I'm like, this will not look good anywhere in the house. So you might need to find a man shed and put it up because it will not be here. Going on.
If
he's not there. Okay. Well, you know what? We're just gonna.
Yeah.
Dustin is not appearing. Okay.
I'm sorry for Dustin.
So here's another. That's okay. Here's another.
Go ahead.
Point of the list. Fear of divorce and losing half your stuff is another big problem that men have with marriage. If you make the right decision, just saying.
It's a net.
I mean, and also, bonjour, this is why you have a prenup.
Okay. But.
Like I suggested.
That's true. But if you have the right woman, to your point.
If you have the right woman.
Even if, and if you're a driven guy, you're extremely successful. I maintain, and I know other successful married men, the right woman will enhance whatever you do, and vice versa.
Yeah.
This is not all about just, to your point earlier, it might be more reasons. I know a lot of ladies out here, some want to get married still.
Listen.
There are some valid reasons. Maybe you don't.
There are some reasons. Because you know what? The two happiest.
Not for my wife.
The two happiest demographics are single women and married men. Clinically, that is a statistical fact. Okay.
I am going to.
Wait, Dustin says he's on, but what?
Oh, I see Dustin.
Oh, Dustin's on. He can't hear. He can't hear what we're saying.
Hold on, I think I control that.
Okay, wait. Dustin's here.
Dustin, we see you.
Freaking 10 minutes of the show.
Wait a minute. We got him. I'm gonna bring him up to speed real quick.
Oh, Troy's saying that not letting my husband put up a sign. Listen, I have better design.
Is Dustin
design aesthetic.
Hold on, we're bringing Dustin.
We're bringing Dustin on.
Wait a minute.
To the show.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna unmute you, Dustin. If you hear me, Dustin, I'm about to unmute you.
I can hear something.
Dustin.
Wait, there's Dustin. I see him.
Wait a minute. Dustin, can you hear me? Wait,
Turn the music off, dude. What are you doing? Okay, here we go.
Dustin.
I can't hear anything anybody's saying. Can you hear me?
Dustin, we can hear you. Can you hear?
It's silent.
We can hear
nothing.
We can hear. Okay, I'm gonna text you.
Why can't Dustin hear us?
Volume's turned all the way up.
Herb, Dustin can't hear us.
Volume's
turned all the way up. Turn off his music.
And I don't think the world can see Dustin because
we can. He's right there.
Everybody can see Dustin and we can hear him. I'm not sure why he can
hear his music.
But everybody else can hear you guys though.
Jesus Christ, Dustin.
I'm texting him to turn his music off.
You hear music? I don't hear music. There's no music playing.
There's something happening. Do you have your you can't hear me. There's background noise.
Kris, I'm gonna turn that down. You go ahead.
Okay, so I would like for you to. I don't care if we got 7 minutes left or 8.
Dustin, can you hear us now?
I cannot hear anything. Like it's
but you're responding.
I'd like to get
no
Dustin
audio
on
the
if
browser
possible.
at all whatsoever. No audio.
Yeah.
Not a
You have no audio. Not a peep. Do you have on your? Do you check all
Is
your
there
settings?
something I can do here?
Okay.
Tell him to go out and come back in one last time. If not, then we're gonna proceed.
Oh my God, this is like.
Text him.
A pain in the
Tell him to
ass.
go out, come back in
Okay.
one last time, and you'll finish your list, and we'll proceed.
Okay.
All right. So, sorry about that, everyone. That's what happens when you switch my time and bring me on Wednesday. We're Friday night people.
Technology is fantastic when it works.
I would like for you.
That's what I'd like to say.
Finish going over your couple points,
and
I'll answer.
Oh, they're afraid of less sex. Okay, so to your point of earlier, men are afraid of less sex, but statistically, what you say that married men have just as much sex as single men, but yet men are afraid they're going to have less sex.
Listen, those same fears that men have, women have those same fears. The problem is, a lot of us need to look in the mirror. And remember, fellas, you can trust me. I was a black belt level Jedi Knight player. They also look in the mirror and say, I'm going to be sleeping with the same person forever.
Right. It's
just
not
like you like new booty, they get excited too. But they must love you. That has to count for something.
We like men who, think foreplay is cool. You know what I mean? Like after a while, there's
don't go too far now. Don't go too.
There are a lot of men who they're like, oh, I'm married.
But that is a normal part of
shit.
it. Now, I do have one exception.
I don't know if I see Dustin. I just can't hear.
For the man or woman who has been married, if you had a real bad situation, I can understand some of those people's
now I can
apprehension
hear.
for another round.
I mean, yeah, if you had a super dramatic situation where you maybe lost your kids, have to spend a whole lot of money in child support, you have
Well, he was crazy.
Oh, he can hear us now. Dustin can.
Can I see him?
I don't think so. Whatever you do over there with the control, Kris.
I'm going to press a button.
This is far too dramatic. But yeah, so
wait,
point being, I'm just going to keep talking.
Hold on.
Because
I think I
these
got
people
my
deserve
man
some
Dustin.
content.
Dustin. Do you hear me, Dustin?
You guys can you guys hear me?
Okay, maybe not.
Dustin,
We good?
Dustin.
Dustin, are you there?
You can hear
Can
me?
you hear? Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, we got Dustin.
Excellent.
Dustin Siebert. Okay.
So, Dustin, let me bring him up to speed, Gina B, in 20 seconds.
Do it.
Dustin, first off, thank you for joining the show. I'm Kris. I heard a lot about you, brother. And we may have to even bring you back. Don't worry, it's not a big thing. We do this every week. We're talking about why men should be married. I took the stance, and I am a retired Jedi Knight level black belt player that men should. Now, I prepped the audience and said there's some people who may have been married. They may hold a different view. So, Gina B has told us a lot about you. She said you were well-read brother, well-read brother. In 1 minute or less, we want to hear your pros and cons of married, and we want to ask you a few questions before we get off the air. Gina, anything?
Yeah, just 1 minute. That's all we got.
No, I'm just joking.
Well, no, we got more than 1 minute.
We got more than 1 minute. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm just trying to get you to go.
Tell us your perspective, Dustin.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I was married. So I mean, it's the top line thing. Talk about it all day, but the bottom line is, I think that marriage as an institution, the way that society is perceived it for at least the past 50 plus years, is kind of antiquated in the sense that more people attempt it than are actually built for it. So
true that.
That's why the divorce rate. That's why the divorce rate is what it is. I think marriage is not inherently a bad thing. Traditional marriage, monogamy, all of those things, not a bad thing. But I think that it's not built for as many people as attempted, which is why so many people fail. The idea of being with someone day in and day out for 30, 40 years, it sounds good at the beginning because we've been inundated with Disney films that tell us the happily ever after is all.
I hate a fairy tale.
I like Dustin.
Yeah, but
Dustin's dope.
But like the reality of what it means to actually do this thing day in and day out with the same person, just is more complicated than we want to make it out to be. And the narrative is, if we fail, it's our fault. Like, it's human beings' fault. We're selfish. We didn't try hard enough, so on and so forth. But I don't know. Can we swear? I don't know. Are we allowed to swear?
Yeah, swear on.
Absolutely. I've been cursing. My mother's not watching tonight. Go ahead.
Right. The problem is that, like, people, we don't know if people are going to change, right? So the idea is that, you marry somebody and the lack of, the unrealistic aspect of being with someone and saying I do is that they're going to be that person for the remainder of their lives. They're going to be the person you married until you guys are in the ground. But like, people change, people go through different types of permutations and evolutions and de-evolutions and so forth. And the idea is that maybe, just maybe, the person that you partnered up with can't get with the evolutions that you made. You can try.
Fair point.
But maybe sometimes you can't get there. And in the best case scenario, you can. You love the person and you want to be with the person as they were 15 years ago. So,
now, so tell me
the basic idea.
Tell me, okay, so you were married for how long?
I was only married. I was legally married for 2.5 years.
Okay, and so
not a long time.
Where, if you don't mind my asking, where did you find the gap between, where you felt that the marriage, what was your original intention with the marriage, and where did it not live up to your expectations? I know it was a lot for like a few minutes, but
the main issue between the two of us, I tell people, the thing that killed the marriage is, and this is often the case, something that existed throughout the whole relationship, which is kind of like a fundamental lack of trust, but not even so much that, but a different understanding about what marriage should look like. I was married to a very, I say stereotypical Puerto Rican woman, in the sense that, if you want to resort to stereotypes, folks from the island, they're very passionate, but they're also very jealous, right?
They don't play that. You get cut.
Right. And so the idea is that me, I promised this woman when I met her, I was like, I'm never going to cheat on you. I'm not cut that way. It's not something you have to worry about. But she was like, wait a minute, who are all these women that you are cool with, right? Take somebody like Gina. I've known Gina for, well over 10 years, right?
You just can't parade around.
So well over 10 years, right?
You just can't parade around with.
So I've known Gina longer than I've known than I know my wife. But if she saw me having a random text message conversation with Gina B. She'd be like, well, who is this? You never talked to me about her. Like, who is this woman and blah, blah, blah. Like, these would be the conversations that I would have to deal with. And the more attractive the woman is, the more.
Absolutely. Let me ask you a couple questions, Dustin. First off, very good answers. Nothing I really disagree with. Especially when you talked about everybody's not built for marriage. I think that was powerful. I think a lot of people are, like you said, more in love with the idea of being married. But how old were you when you actually got married?
I was 2013, so I was turning 32. I was a month away from 32 when I
Now, were you an ex-player? Because I was a black belt level player. Were you a player?
Player is relative, right? So it's like I had a squad before I was,
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
He had a squad.
Yeah, thanks, Gina. So listen. If I am in a rare category where I've sort of known the person I'm with. Now I've only been married. I'm not that old, but I've only been married a short amount of time, right? But I've been knowing her for a long 12 years. But I've been knowing her. She knew me when
good amount of time though.
She knew me when I was 15. So you sort of know what you get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she knows you.
So that factor's not there. But I understand his point. But that goes male or female.
Right, it does.
Gina B, you're a fairly good-looking woman. If she knows he had a squad before, those are typically the men that women sort of want. If the foundation isn't right, and it was some trust issues going in, you're setting yourself up.
I find that it's about how you handle it too, though. But, so when I met my fiance, I had a good number of male friends.
We got like 3 minutes.
I know. We got seconds. But I made sure that we walked into that relationship with me saying, okay, these are my boys, right? And
but if he wants you to get rid of one of them or vice versa, that's just done.
I made it so that he wouldn't necessarily have to because they're now friends with him. I
do like him a little better than you.
A lot of people like Lee better than me, so that's fine. But my male friends are cool though, so they know how to make him comfortable, right? Because it's like nothing's going on with us. We just know each other forever. Like it's all good. So I never had secret conversations with them, and now he doesn't care if I do, right? Because in the beginning, I'm like, I'll take Eric's call, I'll take Mike's call, I'll take Chuck's call, right in front of him. You know what I mean? So it just all depends. And I'm not saying you did anything wrong, Dustin, but what I'm saying is that you're right. Some people just aren't wired for it.
I like what Dustin said. We're going to bring him back.
We need to have Dustin.
I also think the age, I also think you and Lee's age, that's a factor. So
absolutely.
When I got with her, we were in our late 20s, right? And so, you guys, y'all redacted age, right? So,
there you
older.
Go. Like this guy.
And I think you can't. Like my mother used to always tell me, she's like the shit y'all are like arguing about. She's like, that's not stuff that we care about at our age, right?
So it goes away.
This worrying about who you talking
to. I'm surprised, Dustin, you don't want to be married. You sound real wise, man. You got it all down, but you brought up some points.
Dustin's a cool dude.
He brought up some points that we're going to talk about. A lot of people are not ready for the whole monogamy thing.
They're not.
And the biggest thing, a lot of people think they want this thing. They don't want this thing.
Right, they don't.
So let's get
to
this
problem
next
is
week.
People don't figure out they don't want it until they've done it and they're in it. And now we got to get lawyers involved.
Now we've got to
go step out.
There should be a trial period for marriage, right?
Let's do this.
What?
Next week, let's bring Dustin back for the whole show.
Yeah, Dustin, you in for that?
If he's free.
Yeah, what you guys do it on Wednesday? Every Wednesday?
Every Wednesday.
Wednesday 6. We want to do this again, but I want to change it up. I want to talk about both sides.
Both sides.
The pros and cons of being married, and I really want to get into it with Dustin because he's got a viewpoint that's a little bit different.
Right.
Does that work, Dustin?
Oh, wait, I think we lost him again.
Well, in the meantime,
maybe we should have Dustin in the studio.
In the meantime, I want to hear, Gina B, we're gonna compile the audience. If y'all cool with that, I want to hear, we're going to compile some of y'all questions. So if something came out that you want to hear, let us know.
Please.
But we have to get to In the Zone right now. My man Brian Foster's in the building. Please stick around for it. After that, we got Week Hell Wednesdays. HEAUW. Both great shows. Please enjoy them. Until next week, Kris the Critic, Gina B, we out of here.
Thank you for joining.
Peace.